we sit.
This is it, gentlemen.
It's almost the end of the weekend.
It is the end of the weekend for some. Well, for Jerry, it is.
And
Yeah, tomorrow's work day.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Andy's Shop and Lounge. Andy, Wally,
Jerry.
Jerry. And first of all, if you're suffering through this video, let me just raise a glass to you guys.
Cheers.
Quick toast. Cheers. This is, in fact, the lounge portion of the shop. Oh, crap.
That's what I said.
Made it a little beer than usual. Huh?
Jerry's
Yeah.
a little heavy-handed.
We made Jerry the bartender tonight. Apparently, that was a mistake. So we haven't posted a video up on the Shop and Lounge in a bit. Instagram has determined that you must have 1,000 followers to do a live feed. And the point of those live hits, if you guys watched any in the past, was Wally and I getting out there with whoever was with us. And we tried to keep them short and brief, 30 minutes, a minute, maybe 5 minutes tops.
Yeah. So
let me start by apologizing again and saying you're probably going to sit through a slightly longer format because I'm going to record this and who knows how long it will be because we're going to do it until we have nothing to say pretty much.
That's how
we
it
always
Or-
have something to say.
Yeah, or the batteries die on everything that we're recording with because really I haven't charged anything. But I want to say we should start from the beginning. And I think the beginning probably starts with Jerry telling us, hey, I'm coming out.
Yep. I had a work opportunity to come out here during the week, and I said if I can come either the weekend before or the weekend after, and the weekend before seems like the right answer. So
Yeah.
showed up on Friday.
And when I found out Jerry was coming, I had to come from Colorado, so I'm now here.
Oh, well, hell, that meant I had to clean the shop.
Yes, you did.
He did.
I have certain standards.
Yeah. And some of you who've been watching, you know, I recently put up a new wall in the back of the shop, and we're paying a little tribute to our Jeep Club, Lost Jeeps of SoCal. And if you're watching this as a Lost Jeep SoCal member, thank you guys for being members. We appreciate you guys joining in and doing our events. Andy Shop and Lounge proudly supports Lost Jeep, and we have for years. So this is kind of a California base station. Jerry is our Florida base station, and Wally is now, he is one of the Colorado base stations because we already know there's a Lost Jeeps of Colorado.
Right. Yeah. But
Yeah.
Not. It is, but not really.
Well,
We'll revive it.
we'll revive it. That's
Yes,
true.
that's right.
So what was our plan this weekend? Who wants to review the plan?
Our plan this weekend was to trace out all of the electrical, the stock harnesses in the Jeep. Not only that, but all the accessories that we're going to be adding to the KJ. So we successfully did, I think, 98% of that. I think we got most of it nailed down.
Yeah.
We also did some extra things. We got carpet installed.
Oh,
We have
Added wiring. We added wiring to prepare for the Boss system.
yeah.
Yep.
We mapped it all out multiple times. We numbered it. We figured out if we had too many, not enough, double extra wires here or there, you know.
Yep.
So this actually, I actually had a preconceived plan on what we were going to do. Originally, my plan was to say, hey, I want to track all the accessories you're going to do in one shot. I'd like to build one main harness. I called Jerry, a while back and said, here was my plan. I was going to mark everything out, put it in location runs, string to every location. I wanted to order some custom wire and really neat stuff and make it like one main harness. What we found out was that wasn't really actually practical. In the very end, when we looked at it, it said, gosh, we could plan all the wires where they were going to run, but trying to make one main harness was a little bit of a lofty goal.
The biggest part of that is it's all going to one Boss control unit, but from there it went everywhere.
True.
It went up, down, around, through.
Yeah.
That's right.
But we did have a game plan. We knew every accessory we were putting in, so there weren't any surprises. Out of a 12 position accessory switch, how many positions are we using now?
10.
10.
So we have 2 spare slots. Now I may say, oh my gosh, you only left yourself 2, but the good news is we have included every single one that there is to need.
That's right.
Um,
Pretty
Yeah.
much everything.
Yeah, which is kind of nice. It's unusual to say, hey, I've planned every accessory, and I need to leave room. Well, there's not. If I asked Wally what else he wants to add right now,
Couldn't think of anything else at this point.
no.
And we spent a bunch of time just brainstorming that,
Yeah.
doing it different ways, wrote it down different ways, mapped it out different ways, and kept coming to there's 9 or 10. How are we going to do those 9 or 10?
Yeah.
And part of that was using the factory
Factory switch. For
switch,
some things, yeah.
and looking at it from how are you going to operate the vehicle? Are you going to during the normal operation, driving around the streets, you need certain things. When you're off road, you use certain things. So we beat up the different scenarios quite a bit to come up with
Yeah.
a really good solution.
And keeping in theme with anyone who's ever seen Honcho, there were some things that I said this has worked out really well. I want to duplicate things like where the actual control unit is Voss switches are designed to be installed in the engine compartment. I put it inside the vehicle. I had luck with that before. The nice thing is when it's located inside the vehicle, we put it underneath the back seat. The nice thing is we add another accessory in the future. We're not crawling around the engine compartment. We're not crawling around under the dash. We're lifting up the back seat area to go in there to add accessories.
Yeah.
But that also meant that we were traveling at a farther distance than normal. That means that we had to plan and say, okay, what's the total amount of amperage we're going to run out there? Let's calculate the distance for that amperage. Let's make sure we're safe. We overkilled the crap out of the system because as far as we're concerned, the last thing you'd want to have is a dead short in the middle of a Jeep on a
Yeah,
trail.
no, that's not good.
No. But what was probably our biggest challenge? Man, we spent a lot of time yesterday. It
Yeah.
seems like we didn't do any work yesterday, and
I
yet
think-
we killed ourselves yesterday.
I think just tracing the existing harnesses
Yeah.
and trying to figure out where they ran and what they did and rerunning tail light wiring and
Yeah, we
Um,
routed. We actually returned routing of lights back to where they
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, there's been a lot of changes to the rear end of Beast.
which is
Yeah.
why we had to do
We
that.
had to do all
Yeah.
of that, and it was just all stuffed into a corner because that's what it needed to be at the time. But
Oh, that's a good point. The original back end of Beast was a station wagon.
Yeah.
And the way they had it designed, it was actually a lot of that stuff was the wiring was actually designed to come out the vehicle, go out through the bumper,
Yeah.
come in under the taillights, and all that wiring originally was hidden behind plastic outside the vehicle. It was actually inside the
Right.
vehicle.
Yeah.
So we rerouted it into that took a while to get all that rerouted through the chassis.
yeah, and the plan was also to get as much of that protected because of the new feature of the rear end and the tailgate capabilities.
Right.
Yeah.
So you won't see it. You had to enlarge some holes, maybe drilled a few extra, move some
Oh.
things around. to
Deep
route
pin
things.
harnesses.
Deep-pin,
deep-pin
completely deep in the
connectors.
taillight
Yeah.
harnesses so we could fit them through tiny little holes. But it just absolutely, when you look at it now in the end, I think it was worth it.
Oh, that's
Because
definitely worth it.
if you actually look at the work we did, most people probably think it came that way in many of the areas. I don't think anyone would know that we actually rerouted that. But then we finally, by the time we were done yesterday, we had a full plan of where everything was. Which meant today was our hump and bump day.
And most of it was the stuff that would be hidden when we get to the carpet side.
Right.
Because the
Yeah.
rest of the things that are going to be attached are relatively close to the things that they will be powering them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So we also had to consider about setting up. We've done a lot of unique things in the back. We've made modular systems to hold systems. In other words, we made modular plates to mount our computer with the bus bar. We've made a modular plate to hold both compressors.
Right.
We've planned a redundancy system within it so that we made sure that if something failed, we had something to back up the failures.
That's right.
That was a lot of today was fabricating those plates and fabricating the back of Beast to be able to mount those, and then when we do need to maintain them or take them apart,
Yeah.
how to do that in a way that allows you to loosen a few bolts,
Yeah.
loosen a few
Yeah,
nuts,
just pull
and
the
just
plate
pick it
out.
up.
That's pretty cool.
So yeah, it'll be easy to work on for sure.
So what's Beast's primary purpose going to be? Would we call this a recovery vehicle?
It's time.
Does it meet the recovery vehicle standard? That's the question.
Uh,
Because I got to say, you know, when I built mine, I looked at it and said, okay, it's not just a trail run. I built that thing with recovery in mind, kind of. And Jerry's vehicle is like a utility knife. It's meant to be kind of a little bit of everything. You could use it as an overlander, you could use it as a hardcore off-road rig, and you could use it as a trail runner. And it kind of felt, hell, I could drive that thing to the grocery store on Sunday and I'd still feel comfortable.
Drive it to work every day.
Yeah, I can't really get away with that sometimes.
Yeah,
But-
this, I don't know, it's gonna be, now you got a big motor in it. It could be a recovery vehicle, it could be
Yeah.
a utility vehicle.
Yeah.
It could be overlanding, it'll be able to do a lot of things.
Yeah, its power is not very manageable though.
Yeah.
I got to say, we thought it was a great idea to put a V8 in this thing because we've always been under the assumption it felt underpowered.
Yes.
But we went from mildly underpowered, and then we removed a ton of weight off the vehicle. I mean, we've probably removed, I'm gonna say 700-800 pounds worth of steel off this
easy.
vehicle that it didn't need.
Yes.
We've downsized rear bumpers. We've gotten rid of an extra roll cage in the back that we weren't using. We've gotten rid of a lot of
Yeah, but it's still got, it's fast. Or it's got a lot of torque, I'll
It's
tell
got a
you
lot
that, it's got a lot of torque.
I'll tell you, you don't want to drive it without the spare tire in the bed.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the spare tire in the bed adds enough weight to put some traction on the rear wheels. But just pulling it out of the shop, if I give it anything more than 1/8 of the throttle, you can hear it. I accidentally left here earlier to relocate it behind us for this video shot. And I was driving, I'm like, gosh, it's just not moving. So I gave a little bit of gas and drove right over the wheel chocks.
Yeah, it did, like it was nothing.
Now keep in mind, the wheel chocks were this big.
They were, but I didn't even notice them. Yeah,
They were still only.
they
this
were
big.
still okay.
They were like
They
a curve size.
That's
Huge.
true. You know, they still stopped the truck for about 3 seconds. But so we know that we have all the wiring in, we have all the accessories in. What accessories do we have on it? So we have 2 sets of lights on the front bumper. One will be controlled through a factory switch. We have the fog lamp, driving light, although we've never actually decided which one's going to be which.
Yeah,
on
we
that.
don't know yet, we'll decide when we get there.
But we have fog lights, driving lights on the front bumper. We also have the roof lights. We have put the pod lights back on it. This is the first time anyone's actually seeing that, and that we've discussed it publicly. So you're hearing for the first time the pod lights. You can see it in the video behind us. We have the new rearward facing lights up on the rear cab. If you look back there now, those are yellow dust pods.
That's,
We've gone back and forth over whether they were going to be yellow dust lights or white.
Yeah. I think we're gonna stay with the dust lights, with the ambers
Yeah.
in the back. So,
Which means that 11th accessory plug is probably going to end up being some sort of rear cargo light.
Or repurposing of the plug that's always on.
That's true.
Yeah.
And just putting a flip switch back
So
there.
we
is on.
discovered an always on plug
Yeah.
that could aid in charging capabilities. It could be
Yeah.
a switched, something that we put in the back for switched. It could be USB.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of things. Marine grade USB that could be adapted in there.
And as I
Yeah.
mentioned, we're probably going to use that to hijack for a backwards feed to take care of a solar battery and solar battery maintenance charging
Yeah,
and solar
which is a
power.
good idea, because it's
Yeah.
not gonna be driven a daily driver, so we need to keep the batteries
No.
charged.
No, the lockers are originally on small ARB pump, which used to be in the engine compartment.
Yep.
Is now located under the back seat next to the main ARB pump. Our plan is to throw a manifold between the two and to have them as a backup. But now that also means that the ARB locker switch is in there. I think that's a huge plus. I think
Yeah.
getting it out of the dust and the dirt
Yes,
is going to greatly improve it. The ARB pumps are finicky, I think, after
Yeah,
a certain age.
compressors, anybody that owns one knows what happens to them when they get older.
Jerry, how's yours doing?
Is
it working right now?
No, it's currently down. But I've officially rebuilt every piece of that. Kirsten and I have built every piece of that compressor.
Yeah,
Both compressors have been replaced.
good.
All relays have been replaced.
Uh,
And I think the pressure switch is the next thing,
The
which
next
I already
thing.
bought one. I had bought one a year and a half ago. So yeah, I think getting them out of the engine bay will actually make them last longer.
Yeah.
But airflow is going to be something that we'll have to look into based on the system that'll be in the back seat of
Yeah.
of these.
yeah, we have to route the airlines into it still. We haven't done that. Wally has to order a new airline kit.
Yeah. You have to run it.
So we have the front lockers, rear lockers. What else? We have both compressors. We've covered those. We still have the refrigerator. So I know that we've mentioned this before, and I've asked about it. You have this new fridge, and it's not the ones you've had before. This is
No, I'm running a Dometic in my red Jeep, my main Jeep.
okay.
Um,
We had an ARB originally.
I had an ARB originally, which I was happy with, but the changes I made in my JL, it was too tall. So I went to a Dometic for that one, and it was a little shorter and it fit great. I've had no issues with the Dometic. About a year ago, Rough Country had some crazy sale on their refrigerator. I looked at reviews were good on it. It was cheap, and I said, you know what? I'm going to pick up one of these.
Yeah.
Just have it because it was so cheap I couldn't pass it up. So bought it, just hung onto it, and said, okay, let's just put it in the KJ.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at right now.
And that's going to also be hardwired to the Voss
Boss
solution.
switch, yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be on a switch.
Yeah.
So when you want to have cold beverages, you turn it on. And when you don't want to or don't need to, you turn it off. And the last thing on the list, other than the rock lights that we skipped over, was the ham and the GM RS.
Correct.
I'm in GMRS, we have that.
And there was one more thing that we found in the back that we hadn't even planned for, which is when we trace wires, is there's a really cool button on the center console or on the center screen that is the defrost.
Yeah, so there's no rear window to defrost anymore, but we got a circuit for that, which is run by a switch on the dash. So
What
now,
we use that for
wait,
is,
why is that important? How significant is that circuit?
you go for it.
It's a high
it's
amperage.
30
circuit.
amp, right?
It's 30 amps to run a rear window defrost.
So,
And somewhere Carlos is out there maybe watching this video, but he'll remember what happened when his 30 amp circuit stayed on.
Yeah.
His battery didn't.
yeah, so we need to find, if we don't find a home for it, it's fine. But if we need something, we have it.
Yeah, so we have a switchable 30 amp circuit in the back of that thing, which is
And it's just cool because it's on
the
the dash center
It
console.
is.
You can just
It
push
is.
the button and it's a click on,
Yes.
click off toggle.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, 30 amps, maybe run a small heater back there, defrost.
Oh, we could put in seat
Or,
heaters.
or an
we could,
inverter.
Inverter,
You can
seat
put an
heaters.
we could put seat
We
heaters
could put
in.
seat heaters in there. Switch seat heaters. That's right. I'm gonna-
And still have two. So, got the hard wires run.
Yep.
Got the carpet in today.
Carpet's in.
It still needs a good heat cycle.
Yeah, it needs to
Um,
flatten out a little bit, but
But
it's in.
It's not going anywhere.
Tomorrow
Trim
is
panels.
yeah, a lot of the trim panels are installed. We have some work to do on those. We're gonna cut and fill some holes and cracks and finish that up. Tomorrow, Andy and I are gonna work on the driver's seat and maybe have both of the new seats installed tomorrow.
A little trip to pick and pull.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a pick apart tomorrow and try to find some other things that we need.
Little
okay,
things.
So just little things, nothing major. But finally, we're getting close. We could see the end. There's still work to do, but there's not a ton of work to do. It's getting close.
At this point, it's the finishing work.
Just finishing.
You got all the parts you need for the most part. We got some wiring parts to still pick up, but you've got all the interior pieces. You got the seats. You got it's just details,
That's right.
and then a full tighten down and a
Nut
full
bolt, yeah.
fluid swap.
Yeah. So it's getting there. It's getting very close. It's pretty exciting.
We're also going to have to, I was just telling Wally when we head out there, we're going to need to, we're going to carefully buy a whole bunch of little tiny trim screws. At Pick Apart, you pay for the screws, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. We would never do anything horrible.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But trim screws are
Those
very
trim
difficult to
screws,
find,
yeah, they are.
Yeah.
especially when they were pulled apart, set down on a table, and then set on a chair, and set on the floor, and set.
Oh, they're probably in this shop somewhere.
No, they're probably on other people's vehicles,
So
so
that
they
could
probably
be-
are.
We've used them in other places.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, this trim screw looks just like mine.
these has only been apart for 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
But it's all good stuff.
So we still have final paint to go through. Too.
We do,
Yeah.
and we're still not going to discuss what our paint plan is on it because it's a mystery even to us. But But we have ideas. We talk about it, and our fourth person, and that'd be Jim, of course. Jim is our paint specialist.
Yeah.
He is our artistic director, and at the end, he will be the one coming in to kind of line us out on
Yeah,
that.
so the color you see now behind us is not the final paint.
No, this is a base color because everything has to go. If it's a great base color, and we could leave it here, it wouldn't be unusual for it. This was not far off from its previous color.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, and then we have the last big push on it will be a giant final nut and bolt check.
Yeah.
Alignment. We have full fluid checks. We have Wally just mentioned today and yesterday. I don't have any fluid in my diff.
Yeah, there's no fluid in the diffs.
It's a good thing we haven't been ripping it around the block.
Yeah,
I wouldn't anyway.
there's oil in it.
There-
There's some coolant in it.
yeah.
But
I will say, you turn the key, it starts right up.
that's, yes.
But the amazing part is that thing, you touch the key and it instantly starts.
Yeah.
And it's a, man, she's a runner.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a rundown of everything that we've had going on, guys.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna keep working on the shop and cleaning up, and the camera is selectively turned this way today because behind you is a giant mess I'm still cleaning and I wouldn't want it on camera. But our long-term goal is a few of these videos will be shot upstairs. And I'm gonna say, if you're out there and you don't follow us on Instagram and you want to actually see, just go back to our original 3 to 5 minute format and not suffer through these long video conversations, please follow Andy Shop and Lounge on Instagram. The goal was not to do long form videos. The real goal was just to touch in and let you guys get a little glimpse of what we do. And we like posting pictures. Tell you the truth is I tend to think we all have voices for radio and we tolerate us on camera. But
Yeah.
Agree.
So, and what's our next target? Have we finalized on Memorial? You guys are waiting for me to say yes. on
Well,
Memorial Day, right?
I know
you're
available
a yes.
anytime. I'm retired.
And,
Go here and there.
Jerry's the one that posed the idea. So right now, we don't know for sure, but we're targeting our next big push for that. Between now and then, I do have some other small projects. There's some fenders that will be painted over the next couple of weeks inside this shop. So there won't be any major beast highlights after this week and
Yeah,
for a couple of weeks.
probably another 30 days or so.
Yeah, you're going to start seeing me use the CNC table again quite a bit. I have a ton of small requests and projects to start cutting stuff on the table, and I haven't done it in a while. 3D printer is about to get a much bigger workout because although I did print back when I made those initial caps on the back, now I've got a bunch of interior parts we need to make.
Yeah.
If anyone out there wants to sponsor Andy Shop and Lounge with a 3D scanner, yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be helpful because then someone has to teach Andy how to use it.
There's worse problems to have.
I suppose. But that's it. Stay tuned for more. We appreciate your time, everyone.
Okay.
And thank you again. Make sure you turn in to our next future episodes. Good having you out, Jerry.
See you next time.
See you guys.
See ya.
Racing in my mind, life's a winding road, treasures we will find. Welcome to the car world, feel the engine scream, digital speedometer.